Speaking is the most crucial part in any language. Even if you don't know how to write or read a language, but you are able to speak, then that is enough. So in this video, I will give you 5 reasons why you are not able to speak German and how you can fix it. So the first reason is that you think that you need to learn all the vocabulary before starting to speak. I have seen many people who learn and memorize vocabulary which they will not use, and because they don't use it, they forget it. And this results in frustration. So the reality is, you just need a few words which you use in your daily life to speak German. So in my case, I am a software developer and I know words which are related to my field, and I can give job interviews for software engineering positions in German. But if somebody asks me anything about biology or medicine, then I don't know the vocabulary for these fields because this is not my daily work. And without them, I still survive and I have had no issues at all. And if you just think about it, there are 1 million words in English language, and neither I and I think nor you know all of these 1 million words. But still I am able to communicate my point and you are able to understand it with the vocabulary that we have. Similarly, in German, there are 400,000 words, and you just need the ones which you will use in your daily life in order to speak German. So my tip over here is that don't stress about learning all the vocabulary. Just focus and target the words which you will use in your daily life and start using them. And if you hear a new word, then just write it down and translate it from Google Translate or some other online dictionary. And because it is used frequently in your daily life, you will remember it as well. And in this way, you will increase your vocabulary. The second mistake which people make is that thinking that you need to learn until C1 or B2 level in order to speak German fluently. So whenever I talk to people, many of them say that our target is to learn until C1 so that we can speak fluently. But this is wrong, because I myself have done B2 and C1. And let me tell you that the grammar that you learn in these levels is not used in daily life. All the grammar that you need, you will learn until B1 level. And then you just have to learn the vocabulary. So let me give you an example so that you understand this better. So you can compare the C1 level in German as Shakespeare in English. And if you talk about Urdu or Hindi, then it is like the language which is used in poetry. So even I am not able to understand it, but still I am able to communicate. And if you go to an interview, then the person who is interviewing you will not care whether you have C2 level or A1 level, because they will just judge you on the basis of your speaking. If you can speak fluently, then it is enough for them. But if you have a C2 level certificate and you are not able to speak, then you might not get the job. And even for the nationality, you just need the B1 level. So it is good to learn the grammar so that you know how the sentences are formed. But I would suggest you that you start speaking, because if you don't speak, you will not learn. The third mistake which people make is that they think that they have to speak in a German accent so that other people can understand. So in Germany, there are people from different nationalities. If you go to Berlin, you will see people from all over the world, and each of them has a different accent. But still, everyone can understand. Even German native speakers can understand them. So I will give you an example. In my German learning class, there was a guy from Mexico, and our teacher taught us that the number 30 is called 30 in German. But he would always say it as 30. But still, everybody was able to understand him, and we had no problem at all. Even in the Hollywood movies that we see, if there is someone from Russia, then he or she has a different accent as compared to someone from the UK or US. But still, you can understand them, right? So that's why don't worry about the accent in the start. Start to speak. And when you are able to speak fluently, then you can work on your accent if you want. And even if you don't, then it's okay. The fourth mistake which stops people from speaking is not knowing the correct articles. So you know that der, die, das is a big problem in German, and it causes a lot of confusion because each noun has a different article, and depending on the case, it can change. And while speaking, it is difficult to know all of these articles. So using the correct article is important when you are giving an exam or when you are writing an official email. But let me tell you that in speaking, it is okay if you use the incorrect articles sometimes, because nobody will care if you don't use the correct article while speaking, and nobody will reject you from an interview if you use the incorrect article. But they might reject you if you don't speak German. Now let me give you an exercise with which you can test this theory. So go to a supermarket, Lidl, Kaufland, Rewe, wherever you want, and go up to any person and ask them the question, Wo ist der Brot? Where is the bread? So Brot is das Brot in German. So das is the correct article. But in your question, you will intentionally use der Brot and then see what happens. So one of two things will happen. The first one is that they will simply tell you where the bread is. And 99.9% probability is that this will happen. And the worst thing that can happen is that they will maybe ask you, meinen Sie das Brot? Or just say das Brot? And they will ask you this so that they understand properly. And what will happen with this is that you will learn the correct article. So it is a win-win situation for you in both cases. So go and try this out and let me know in the comments what happened. The fifth mistake which people make is that thinking that they need to use the correct word order when speaking. So if you have learned German A2 or B1, then you know that there are certain words which are used such as weil, das, ob, etc. in which the verb goes to the end. So you have a different word order or sentence structure. And this can be a little difficult in the start because our minds take some time to adapt to this new format. But let me tell you from experience that even Germans don't follow this word order all the time. And it is okay if you also make a mistake over here. So right now I am speaking English with you. And I don't know if I am using the grammatically correct word order or sentence structure. Or even in my native language, which is Urdu, I don't know if I use the correct grammatical sentence structure. Because I just use the language as I have learned it. And if I use a grammatically correct word order or sentence structure, I'm sure that many people will not understand me. So the important thing again over here is that start speaking. And when you continue to speak, then this word order or sentence structure will come to you automatically and you will use the correct word order. So these are the 5 reasons why you and many other people are hesitant to speak. But remember that these things are not very important. And let me be clear that the only way to learn speaking is by speaking. The more you speak, the better you will get. So I hope that I was able to give you some motivation to speak and reduce your fear of speaking. So go out and start speaking and you will see an improvement in your speaking as time goes on. And you will also be using the correct articles and the correct sentence structure. I would be happy to learn about your progress and the results in the comments below. Thank you very much for your time and see you in the next video.